22 poets, 22 poems, outdoor voices in an indoor world, Volume 10.
I am desperately waiting for someone to save me. From drowning in a sea of faceless suitors to turbulent tides tossing me left and right, but never washing ashore or managing to stay afloat. I'm hoping someone, anyone, will find me clinging to the rocks with the ocean in my lungs. I hope they will grasp my waterlogged mannequin of a body, press their lips to mine, and breathe love back into my life. The oxygen molecules within me becoming roommates with the sound of my name on their tongue. Making space as they filter out the grit, the plastic, the heartbreak, and the bullshit, everything that has prevented me from feeling desired, because even Poseidon's most horrendous monsters want to feel admired, but too many eyes see me as a creature of fiction, a twisted tall tale, a lack of conviction, an incomprehensible oddity that never quite fits their description, so I'll dream of the day when I am seen, when I am loved, when my life is serene. But until then, I will dress in my finest pearls, decked out in treasures stolen from sunken relationships. And my siren song will call out into a dark and empty night, across the freezing and unforgiving waves, waiting for a response. Thank you.
What to do when a politician tries to fall into your vagina, feet first. My body is not yours to pump, lobby, or legislate. There are no campaign funds tucked in my moccasins or in the folds of my flesh, and the last time I checked, there was no ATM in my vagina, no fuzzy slipper morning after episiotomy, no sling back in time mentality. There simply is no room in my womb for your party to meet my fallopian tubes and not earbuds eager to listen to your rhetoric, because all you want to do is get in my business. You got no business being down there. I mean, if I had wanted you down there, you'd have been invited, all shiny 6-inch stiletto, but you were not invited, so now you just want to barge in all steel-toed Timberland so you can try to cross-train tell me how to run what I have been running my whole life. And what's fucked up here is that I understand your God complex. I mean, you've been planting your flag in other folks' intentions for so long, and some habits die hard, but I'm thinking that if your God really wanted you in my pants, he'd have made you me. And I don't have time for your nonsense. The way you flip-flop agendas, stumbling on the untied laces of your misplaced metaphors, confusing women of today with those you tried to deny the right to vote with all your platforms and oversteps, and I'm sure that in your supreme wisdom, you understand how this entire conversation is inappropriate, and since you cannot walk in my shoes, I'm gonna need you to take them off. You are scuffing up my shine. But if you want to talk about fair housing, equal pay for women, educational benefits that ensures each and every one of my babies goes to college, if you want to talk about health care or basic human rights, I am down for that. But if all you want to discuss is how you think I should honor my body, you are wasting your breath. You cannot dictate who lives in my womb or who is evicted. And how dare you suggest I get over it? And no matter how many times you say it, there's no such thing as legitimate rape. And for the record, politicians, women, we taught the world how to make lemons lemonade. So until the day your blood begs for its breath as you lay battered, broken, some foreigner seeds spilled in your sacred spaces, while those who are supposed to protect create law that make you target, victim, agenda, inconsequential as they abort your dreams while celebrating your injustice today. Another human being falls from your body like grace. That's the day you get to walk in my shoes. But until then, politician, I just need you to know that when you try to get all up in here, uninvited, me, I'll be shutting that shit down.
Hello, my name is Dionne D. Hunter, and I would like to share with you a glimpse into our history. I want to share an excerpt from my narrative poem and book called I Am a Dahomey Warrior. Concealed by vegetation, spears in hand, a configuration of huntresses lay in wait, listening actively, noticing the forest alive in all its brilliancy. Water ebbing through a neighboring stream, while insects traveled flower to flower, pollinating only the most colorful of the bounty. For a moment, the commander was transported back to more innocent times. She reminisced of her youth when she set quiet scenes such as these to canvas. Then, shrubbery breaking under heavy weight snapped her back to present day. She noticed as her prey ambled along the riverbank, bulls leading, calves following behind. She knew a change in strategy was needed. Her warriors shifted their attack to the rear. Elephants pivoted to meet the threat. Ghastly trumpeting erupted. Spears infiltrated. Ivory impaled. Two fearless foes converged. Elephants concerned only with protecting their young. Huntresses thinking only of the mothers relying on them to feed theirs. Then, terrible screams. The commander watched in horror as two of her sisters in arms were gorged and trampled. Unimaginable horrors. But the commander had no choice but to continue, while showing no fear, even though tears flowed uncontrollably down her cheeks. She pushed onward, and finally the huntresses separated a calf from the herd. The commander wiped blood, sweat, and entrails from her brow, and the group was finally able to celebrate their triumph. The commander looked left to right, and she nodded her approval towards her surviving regiment, and they began the long trek home, the weight of calf carcass and their fallen sister on their backs. As the regiment came closer to their village, they heard these chants carried on the wind. We will never forget our sisters. We will never forget the cost you bear. We will never forget our sisters. We will never forget the cost you bear.
In winter the tree is a small thing, a pulled root, with earth kicked off on the heel of the boot. But in the summer, vastly garnered in green, I think that I shall never see a poem lovely, and etc. It chimes strangely then Yggdrasil, the giant ash, tree of life. In the roots of words comes back a gallows. Above the shield shine Valhalla's roof, a goat chomping down its wild shoots, those compound leaves to make strong milk. The barrow's tree long signified the rise of man, flowering in spring, his generations in the fall. Unbound this tree, as the race grows tall, its branches reach into the eye's deep well, blot out the sun, where Ratatock, a chattering squirrel, runs the trunk from eagle to worm, most like the rat in the brain that defeats us all. Three weird sisters tend the great tree. Witches at the well of fate dredge up white mud to salve a wilted stalk. Give me three girls at a drain, drinking cider, talking cock.
Every once in a while I write a poem and dedicate it to a dead body. They say my words are cold like a dead body, double entendre. Like I'm cold-blooded in my bluntness, but then I'm cold like how cool I am when I blow these bars about both them. Brianna, write sonnets to the Sandras and epithets to the Elijahs. I never wanted to be like Poe and have a poem be popular because of his pain. Elizabeth Barrett Browning verses about Mike Brown. Nah, I wanted to write like Whitman, but it's too close to white man, so I guess it's not for me. Gift and the curse is that I get to use my voice, but I don't get to choose a peaceful pen. Nah, I write poems dedicated to dead bodies, bullet-riddled, choked out, hung juries, in a country where you can't kneel for a black man's rights, but on his neck is acceptable. Ironic, like separate water fountains for the same black women breastfeeding your children, like you can cook my food but not eat at my table. This is where we live, America. A caricature of human nature, where the racism booms and the bodies pile, and I write odes to Oscar Grant in them.
Pop. 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 The distant sounds of gunshots ring in my ears as if it had been fired directly next to my head. Bang. Bang. Bang! Are they getting closer? It must be my imagination. Run, run, run! I imagine the screams of the victims, trying to save their family, friends, or only looking out for me. Down, down, down! Bodies hit the ground like leaves falling on a cold fall day. Go, go, go! There's something I have to do! I can stop this! It hits me, suddenly, like the first bullet hitting the front desk secretary in his collarbone. All is quiet. Then, bang. Bang. Bang! The gunshots, no longer distant, ring in my ears once more. I knew it was coming. I knew they had a gun. I knew. But what could I do? No one to tell. No one would listen. No one would hear. Alone. I'm the bad guy now. Because I knew. Sitting in the corner of the library, I hear sirens. As the wailing grows closer, it drowns out the sound of my own. I look down at my hands. How many would survive? All 15 slugs gone. Crawling into my brain like the pests that they are. You know you want to. My hands are bloody. Is it mine or... I look at the gun in my hand. All 15 gone. Except there aren't 15. There are 16. I look towards the window to see my reflection shining against a red and blue flashing sky. I look down again. This time I see a door. An escape. The bad guy no longer. A place to rest. I lift my freedom to my head. Bang.
Hi, my name is Lundh, and this is There's a Woman. There's a woman playing fiddle among the wildflowers at the top of the hill. Tunes the older players taught when they were her connection to the past, when she was their way of saving it. Melodies she heard on the radio late at night as the beams traveled endlessly from cities she'll never see. Patterns of notes born in her mind, hers to teach to others when the time comes, theirs with luck to pass on in turn. So no, she's not a woman playing fiddle. She's a fiddler. All fiddlers. All in one. She and the fiddle are one. There's a young boy standing close to her, rising to her waist, staring my way with mistrust, eyes calculating what future I might be bringing with me to this sanctuary in the rolling, climbing forest. He could be her son, a younger brother or a village ward. She looks down to him, pretending to ignore my arrival as her way to reassure him. Perhaps she'll change her tune. Perhaps she'll weave a new one. Perhaps she'll start to sing a love song or sad song or one and the same. They can be, you know. And maybe she'll wave me to sit among the flowers while she dances her fiddler's dance, her mother's or sister's reel. And maybe she'll gesture with beckoning smile for me to pick up my guitar and play with her, to click my heels and dance with her. Maybes like hard streams, easy streams. So many maybes we neither know yet.
I want to give you babies, like a lot of them. I want to see you whipping in the kitchen, hair tied, apron on, like I want a pot of them. See, my wrist work cold, and I think you just as chilly. See, I'm from the Windy City, I blew in from around the way. I used to be Rolling Stone, but you be brick, you make me stay. I want to build the foundation so you can lay just about anything on my chest. Your worries, your cares, your hands, your lips, your face, your love. I want you to lay on me on your lazy days. Yeah, I'ma need that too. Actually, I'm cool if you want every day to be lazy for you, but I just know you're not one of them. That's why I'm trying to make you one of me. Like I'm trying to make you the sum of me. I can't see us being divided, girl. I'm trying to make you one with me. It's only right we multiply. Only right you make a few sons with me. I mean, like, if you got some years to spare, you might as well spend some with me. Like, maybe like 20 or 30, maybe 50 or 60. The price go up the longer you with me. I can definitely see mine going up with you. You look through my eyes and you'll see billboards being put up with you. See, when I say babies, I don't mean just humans. I mean like businesses too. Let's make birthmarks out of trademarks. I want to merge our stocks. I want you pregnant with my dreams, and I'll carry yours too. I'm talking full term, no stillbirth, alive and well. You put me under a spell the way you spell out my name. Don't you hear? Don't you hear how Cage just sounds so good next to yours? I've never been one for accidental spills. I'm too intentional. I'm gonna pour all of my prime into your paint, baby. Let's paint the town, and then let's paint a house. And when the kids turn 18, we don't even gotta kick them out. Let's just give them one of ours. I think of you, and I think of flowers. I think of gardening for hours. No, like I think of making a forest of yours, mine, and ours. Cause baby, you be my baby, like my first one. You know, I thought I had 3 or 4, but I think you my first love.
The program with the curly writing has your face on it. Details a life well lived. A mantelpiece keepsake from your day of reckoning. The suit's been pressed, the order of service set. It's graduation day, my love. Distinguished guests file in slowly to the soft sound of respectful organ music. They've come to bear witness, sing your praises, send you off to the next leg of your journey on a wave of tears, prayers, and songs strong enough to open the gates of heaven and send an army of angels to welcome you home. Gabriel's trumpet heralds your arrival. It's graduation day, my love. A soul's curriculum completed. Your assignment here is finished. The ultimate level up has been unlocked. But you can't win spirit realm in this soul body. So we commit to the ground at this commencement. In a hail of chrysanthemums and lilies, this is your moment. It's graduation day, my love. We commune in life and grief over stories of you. And I choke back liquid memories, try to see this promotion as celebration, though no tassels will turn. We'll carry your legacy in our hearts. Speak your name at family gatherings. We'll light candles when we think of you, your legend kept alive in flame. It's graduation day, my love.
Out of the mouths of babes. sitting around a fire. My 7-year-old neighbor talks about the TV news. A grizzly bear came out of hibernation early. He was hungry. He loves fish. He loves to eat when he is hungry. We eat when we are hungry. In the U.S., we shoot up. Actually, corn is a drug, sugar is a drug, wheat is a drug. They put meat in the drugs. They drag seeds for crops through the drugs. Monsanto was the giant of pesticide production and genetically modified food. In other words, America concocts the molecules of mastication in a sterile ceilinged room where nothing grows but superbugs. Clean food? A joke. The only thing our food is clean of is the micronutrients from soil, what our bodies cling to for health. We eat rations, our prescriptions doled into beakers, weighed for consumers across preservative seas, placed on shelves. Don't worry, the food will keep. So we let marketing science feed us lies, like pilgrims did this foreign land. Our food was the native species, but we have all killed her. This American soil, the glorious home. Just weeks before, research, the pesticide and seed Monsanto was bought by Bayer, a silent trade to the largest prescription drug company in Germany. First, notice it's a drug company, not a farmer or food cooperative. Second, we no longer have control of our own food supply, in case you want to know where our food comes from. Remember my neighbor. He told me the story of the bear, Bayer. He smelled the fish that the men were cooking, decided that the food wasn't food, and now he is hungry. The Bayer decided instead to eat the man, kept coming back in stealth, robbing health, picking off a man here, a man there. America's food supply smells a little too much like what used to be a fish.
In the pool with our Pooches. I love to swim with my doggy. It really is so nice. Folks ask about their pee and poo, their fleas, their ticks, their lice, and the viles and Lyme's disease, and leptospirosis, and seroba canicola, and toxicata canis. But they're worth the risking. We all must die, you know, and bathing with our Pooches is a grand way to go. And when en masse our dogs dive in, it's splashy, hairy, muddy, and we get scratched and bitten, and the pool turns all bloody. But the highlight's swimming synchro with our gorgeous canine chums, making very pretty circles with our noses up their bums.
I met her when I was younger. Had my hood up to cover from the lightning and the thunder. When the rain fell, I smelled her and she smelled of protection. Sense of gut instincts and no second guessing. She sent me a message in a voice of sirens and walking dogs. She says, "Hello, my name is Mama Street." I jumped. I know they say the streets be talking, but I wasn't exactly expecting an audible voice. Had no choice but to listen. See, I was making my way home and I had quite the distance. She kept me company, kept me from stumbling. Warned me about the puddle here, the lip there, said beware those cracks. See, Mama Street already had a lot of cracks in her back. She said the city don't take care of her in the way they should be. I could hear the pain in her voice, but Mama Street says, "Love, don't worry about me." And she goes on protecting, making sure I get home safely. Mama Street says, "Walk in her street." See, there's shadows by that sidewalk. I stopped. I thought I saw something move. Mama Street says, "Keep your head up and keep moving." Mama Street says, "Watch your step." Says, "Potholes be like broken hearts. You don't know they're there till you feel them, and by then it's too late." Says she seen both cars and hearts break, both ruined because they didn't watch what they was doing. Mama Street says, "Watch what you say, because I ain't the only one listening." Different than you hear is because some folk got ears you should fear. They tilt discerning heads to learn if feds is closing in, and if not, they close in. See, they heard you was strolling on the lonely tip without a rubber grip, so they roll in 4 deep, no need for ski masks. Don't ask about no rules, go ask about the code they have. Ain't no laughing matter if you dead, you can't confess. So what does seeing the matter? Mama says, "Be home for my lights come on."
Don't be out between dusk and dawn. I can't control what goes on between night and morning. Can't stop badges or bullets from adorning you. So let me be your awning. Come onto my porch. Come into my house. You look hungry. Let me feed you. I have a bowl of the dreams of those that didn't listen to me, so they never got to see the things that they wanted to see. Pick up that blood-stained ruby red fork and sniff through the sight of the light that never shined on my precious baby's bodies. I got a tall glass of the cold, the grip that keeps mouths and lips closed, so no one knows how little Mo got. It don't stop there. This menu is extensive. 5-star treatment till you come to your senses, baby. Come to your senses. I don't have enough light posts for your teddy bears, but y'all still post pictures of niggas that sell and chase bags just to end up in body bags. Track likes and comments just to end up as hashtags. I get so angry that people think a name and if that was all they had, I can't even fathom the amount of pain they mama going through, and I'm scarred for life because I seen the bullet go through. Yes, sir. See, these cracks be my scars. I've seen stars bleed and leak like lead, yellow tape around their final scene. These splits and fractures capture their scarlet deeds. They be the stories of the fallen that only my children can read. And there's so many end up right back where I found them. I be the well, they unfinished life, be the fountain. I stay rounding up, trying to cover them all, but mama can only do so much. The rest be up to y'all. Now she's quiet the rest of the walk. But as I approached my front door, she sang a song. She said, let these cracks be a reminder that if you let me, I'll always get you home.
Live export. One of the purest beings, sucked dry, sold for a price, loaded on ferries, lorries, or any means they find, handed over to anyone who would buy. Travel for interminable times, sometimes on bowling land, many times tormented waters, always in infernal misery. Days dark as the darkest night, narrow space between slats will not let in a shred of light. Soaked in shit, fuming foul tentacles seep into every pore. Open air of boundless seas refuse to absorb the exuding smells. It lingers forever on the trails streaming behind. From their own pee, they take a desperate sip. Birth on the way, look at their babies with exhausted love, knowing they were going to die and tossed overboard. Who wants to carry extra cargo that's not going to fetch a price? The buyer. They'll do whatever they like, cut, strip, hang them until they die. For you to sip your chai in your fancy cup. They were sucked dry for your warm joy. Forced to go on a journey from a living death to death stacked on meat and dairy shelves. Poured into cans, cartons and bottles, wrapped in cellophane, stickers indicating best before date of expired mankind.
Happy day and Happy New Year. Vision coming to you here with a self-care awareness reminder poem. As we navigate these trying times, it is so important that we practice self-care, self-awareness, self-reflection, self-compassion, and rest, and ensuring that we take time to breathe. On a particularly busy day, I myself was in the hustle bustle of the rapid movement of life, and then I chose to sit down and relax and breathe and be present. And I wrote this poem, Present, that I'm going to read for you as your reminder to be present, relax, and breathe so we all can be well. It's still today. No need to think about tomorrow. I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee, and I will focus on tomorrow. And when it comes, tomorrow will be today. And I will be present in that day. I will not think of yesterday. No fretting over what I did not do, because there's simply no going back in time. I will not rush. I will not stress. I will just be and do my best, because all is fine and will be done in due time. Don't eat the whole day in one bite. Nibble on each moment and breathe in between. Take another sip of coffee, or if you perhaps prefer, a cup of tea. See, the source of our anxiety lies in thinking about moments that have not come, or reflection of moments that we cannot get back. Erase it all from your mind and just drink in the moment that you have. We rush through seconds. We plow through minutes. We blink and scroll entire hours away. Can't figure out how the milk I bought is sour. I could have sworn I just bought it yesterday. We wake up in the morning, then blink twice and we're getting ready for bed. Stop. Drink some tea. Pick up a book you have not read. And don't forget to breathe. Wake up, go to work, but first stop and smell a flower. Go to the gym, go to the mall, but maybe stop and just stare at the sky and bask in it for a half an hour. You do have time. Post no pictures. Do not scroll. Do not ask Google anything. It will take you down a long, winding rabbit hole. As for me, I'm just sitting here still, drinking my coffee. I have not moved from this spot. Where do I really just have to be? We seek invisible, non-existent validation while being inexplicably busy, bragging about how much we do while still unfulfilled and empty, priding ourselves in our projection that we are winning an imaginary race. Then we look down on ourselves when we cannot keep up the pace. We spend dollars while chasing dimes. We're killing ourselves on a quest to survive. Even the earth rests. I'm rebelling because I am tired. I don't want to rush anymore. So I'm not. I'm going to finish the last sip of this coffee while I don't forget to breathe. What I will do in the next moment, I'm not even going to think about that right now. When the moment comes, we will see. Take care of yourselves. Peace, blessings, breathing, and rest.
Mercury and Venus, scorched by the sun. Planet Earth where life began. Planet Mars where life could be. Jupiter's spot has its eye on me. Saturn's rings like waves on a tide, and Uranus, which spins on its side. Neptune with skies as blue as the sea, and Pluto will always be a planet to me. It is. It's in my books, cosmic tales from childhood, when I would read and dream of space, the wonder written on my face, full of theories of space and time, and the number of planets was always 9. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve, and in you I shall always believe. Your heart guides you to where you want to be, and if it's true, your head will agree. Courage can make a man stand tall, and love will conquer all. The truth doesn't set you free, but Pluto will always be a planet to me. I'm full of passion, lust and desire, and I want to set your world on fire. I am who I am, and I'll always be me. Love me as I am, and you'll hold the key. I've always been a child at heart, a hopeless romantic right from the start. You're the one I want to set me free, and Pluto will always be a planet to me. It is. It's in my books, cosmic tales from childhood, when I would read and dream of space, the wonder written on my face, full of theories of space and time, and the number of planets was always 9.
If I could write it all away from me, or into me, if I could write the healing and the story so it is just a story, if I could feel into and be a part of the rising, after, during, and before all the falling. The terror grips me, and so I grip it back tight with a hug, letting it know I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Soothing and rocking this giant, giant fear. It reaches far beyond realistic physical boundaries. It exists higher than the heavens, wider than all the galaxies, and deeper than the deepest pits of hell. How ironic, since such a little, little body holds it all. If I can write her safe, I will. If I can write her whole, I will. If I can write her gentle, kind, and endless, I will. One poem, one sentence, one rhyme, one word, and one letter at a time. I will reassure her at night when I tuck her in, during the wee hours of the morning as she calls out. As she prepares for the day ahead, I'll send her off with a hug. I'm here, I'm here. I'll go with her everywhere, her footfall becoming my own, and over time, if I can walk her, crawl her from sobbing to standing, in confidence and triumph, I will. I'll do it over and over and over again, until she's mine. And she knows it no matter what. I'll write her always and forever, completely, wholly, belonging to safety, herself, and love. I will cherish her with every line.
You heard that the written word is more powerful than the spoken word. Allow me to briefly entertain you with how some pain grew to fame a few. Out of all the games, who gains to be the biggest player of the played her? In a world where elephants in the room get ignored, guess what? I keep a few in my crew without ever saying a word. Strictly no elephants allowed, shouted a clown. And I yell right back. We all in this 3-ring Barnum and Bailey sometimes with cream. if you know what I mean. This circus called life that has strifed, misconstrued, even soothed the character of her. The one who was the played her, the never saved her, or the watch out for her. But she be the she who got you. She be the she who already knew. She be the she who knew what was true. But who is the she? All that matters is that she has risen from within the earth to a chatter of a rebirth that deemed impossible to sit, stand, even before a dignitary, a noble, and a king, all by the grace of God, with looks that are bold, walking in a pack of herds with cotton souls. Cause see, the tones of that mouth ain't even unfold because you saw her before you heard her, and what you thought of her, you tried to silence her. And the lyrical spur, or shall I say spews, that came from you, and unbeknownst in the front of a gun that's locked and loaded in her throat, all streets are clear once that trigger is pulled, cause she is the GOAT. Spoken word, that is. Really, she just a little baby sheep shooting and killing lies and stories with truth and facts so others could get free. 68 books and 11 looks down of this poised army. Her be a general in a centerfold type of way. Her just be fighting to do what is right in a centrifuge type of way, from the bleeds of that elongated tree that has bled for me. So let me ask you, on all the world's stages, who's playing her and she playing too? And again, I ask you, out of all the men and the women and all of the players, they have their exits and their entrances, and not one of y'all can't say y'all haven't played many parts to the stampede of the deed in this creed, because I'll be that little seed in the dirt.
In the warm wind from the open hall window, the leaves of a plant, the leaves' mangled rotors, clacked together as rapid and intricate as kendo staves. Walking around the corner, the wind hit me from behind like weightlessness, sensation as of being lifted by strangers' arms. Nose pinched shut, eyes shut too, face grimacing. From the river of baptism's water on nights like these. Lights of streetlights in trees, jagged silos, chaotic green, light on a ceiling cast by a lamp splaying in the form of a halved peach. Gigantic. The wind was a language. The wind made me feel like a woman. The trees bent before the wind like anointing paws, the sky visible through their heaving raggedness as bluish sparks. The sound of the wind in the trees was a roar, a seething, a sibilance multiplied by an infinitive number, oceanic, brute. A sound so radical, so dense, and so grievous that I thought it must be a sound made by spirits, the dead. Trees that in their raggedness resembled depression tramps. Passing people on the street, my eyes would water as though from smoke or onions, and my breath would come in shallow, ragged shoals, and my bones seemed to jostle one another. The unassailable nugget of self-consciousness. I wandered about, light-headed, lambent, breeze.
Dear men, males, dudes, guys, whatever works for you, I am here to announce to you that I don't owe you shit. I am not an employee at your business. It is my time, and I use it however I see fit. I don't owe you dinner. Yes, sometimes I am hungry, but never for your attention. I don't owe you an ass grab as a consolation prize for you waiting patiently in the wings for me and my ex-boyfriend, your friend, to meet our inevitable demise. I appreciate your patience, but you can go somewhere and continue waiting because I don't owe you anything. Not even a countdown of when I will allow you out of this hellish purgatory like friend zone that you placed yourself in. And by the way, why is it men always complain about the friend zone, but when you tell me you have a boyfriend, that's the first place they ask to go? I don't owe you a lie about having a boyfriend. But I do it to spare your feelings, and somehow I'm still considered a bitch. I don't owe you coming over to you when you call for me like I'm a bitch. I don't owe you the number of men that I've been with. I don't owe you my phone number, and if I don't want to talk to you face to face, why would I consider a conversation with you on my free anytime, no roaming, roll over daytime minutes? I don't want you. Like, not even a little bit. No, we can't meet for coffee. I prefer my stalkers to drink decaf anyway. I don't owe you telling you that I'm gay just so you can stay as far away from me as humanly possible. I don't owe you having to stop to talk to you just for me to tell you the shit that I just mentioned. I don't owe you a smile. I don't want to fucking smile. Because you are getting my nerves. I don't owe you a fake name or a fake hello. Hey, Romeo, my inbox is not an end to my box. Be gone and tell your girlfriend I said hi. Oh, I didn't text you back. Oh, my bad. I was too busy ignoring you. I don't owe you a sangria just because you bought me I don't owe you a arm candy just because you bought me a sangria, which you offered. Doesn't mean that I have to sign a contract to you written in blood, giving my firstborn as an offering, stand faithfully next to you until the club closes, go home with you, but I don't owe you a pity fuck. And just because we did it once doesn't mean I owe you another one. Oh, I fucked some guy you know. Shit happens. But that doesn't mean it will happen to you. I don't owe you modesty just because my want to dress a certain way concludes with you wanting to undress me. That's your problem. I don't owe you nervous giggle that covers up my disgust or even fear as you lustfully tell me all the things you would do to me, how someone isn't doing it right. My lips don't owe you a good night. Neither do my thighs or neither parts of my person. Did you forget that I was a person? Did you forget that my name was not just a label for property? Did you forget my name or even bother asking it as you grab my wrist, waist, and ass because you weren't intelligent enough to realize you can get my attention by saying something without the use of your hands? I don't owe you a drink. I don't owe you 2 drinks. I don't owe you passed out sex with me. I don't owe you keeping quiet about you violating me. And most importantly, I don't owe you a damn thing. Thank you.
An open letter to Governor Abbott regarding, I hate to say this, but there are more people shot every weekend in Chicago than there are in schools in Texas. And we need to realize that people who think that, well, maybe if we just implement tougher gun laws, it's going to solve it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, in a press conference following the tragic school shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. Governor Abbott, since you're fond of finding numbers larger than the 21 deaths inside Robb Elementary School, I thought we could continue the comparison. 20 million. The number of AR-15s legally circulating in America. 15 million. The amount of money the National Rifle Association paid last year to buy politicians. 4,164. The number of gun deaths in Texas in 2020 versus 1,745 in Illinois. 2030, the expected graduation year of Robb Elementary's 4th grade class. 2021, the year you signed permitless carry into law. 2016, the year your state required public universities to allow students to open carry on campus. 2004, the year the federal assault weapon ban expired, unreplaced. 911, the number that one student called 5 times pleading for help while 19 officers remained just outside her classroom in the safety of the hallway. 173, the number of rounds found inside the school yet to be fired. 142. The number of rounds found inside the school that had already leapt towards victims. 100. The number of rounds the gunman immediately fired into 2 connected classrooms. 77. The number of minutes the surviving students in classrooms 111 and 112 waited between when the shooter entered the room and when the police did. 74. The number, estimated from photos, of, quote, good guys with a gun it takes, after more than an hour, 17 wounded and 21 dead, to stop a bad guy with a gun. 60. The percentage of guns recovered in Chicago that were purchased from states with weaker gun laws. 40. The percentage of Uvalde's city budget that goes to the police. 26. The number of days between a mass shooting in New Zealand and their banning of most semi-automatic weapons. 25. The age when you were old enough to rent a car from most rental companies, because, those things could kill someone. But what greater than lesson would be complete without also examining less than? 18. The legal age in Texas when an AR-15 can be purchased. 10. The number of days since a white supremacist used an AR-15 to take 10 lives in a Buffalo grocery store. 1. The number of mass shootings needed for the UK to ban semi-automatic weapons. 1. The number of U.S. state governors killed in office in our entire history. Your safety, it seems, always takes precedent. 1. The number of students who smeared themselves with a dead friend's blood, hoping she, unlike her friend, might only have to play dead. 0. The waiting period in Texas to buy a firearm. 0. The number of days after turning 18 the killer waited to buy his AR-15. 0. The number of students left unscathed.
Linda Orji here, also known as Soul Survivor Writer, author of Crack Concrete Volume 1. I will be reading a poem titled They Out of Sight, Out of Minded Me. It will be in my second book, Crack Concrete Volume 2, Stay the Course, which reflects me as a professor teaching my art to students, and I'll just leave it as that because there's so much it includes and I don't want to give it away. So this piece right here is the voice of Robert F. Williams, who was an activist and the author of Negroes with Guns. He was pro us protecting ourselves and defending ourselves in a time where we weren't allowed to do that. And then he is having a conversation, not necessarily a conversation, but he's speaking to us and then also talking to Fred Hampton, who is also an activist, was an activist and a member of the Black Panther Party, the Chicago chapter. There was a recent film made about him called Judas and the Black Messiah. So I often like to take leaders in our history and ask myself, what would they say to us now? Especially the ones that we didn't learn about in school. What would they say and how would they say it? And I have the tendency of, I love to change my voice and sound like the person in the best way that I can. So I will be doing that. So let's get started here. The Afro-American militant is a militant because he defends himself, his family, his home, his dignity. He does not introduce violence into a racist social system. The violence is already there. Robert F. Williams is the name. Negroes with guns in honor of self-defense is the game. Many of you may have never heard my name. It is not you, but the system in which you are trapped in that I blame. America, the free country that birthed me, only to falsely accuse and kidnap my dignity, labeled me FBI fugitive when in all actuality I was a refugee. The audacity of them to try and stop me from protecting my family and community when it was I that served in its segregated military. It was I that held a gun to defend this country. They, on the other hand, held guns to harm my army. They held guns to kill my family. You see, they neglected that we be respected, so we did what needed to be done and addressed it. There go them Negroes with guns, they'd say. They were cowards in white sheets. We were black kings patrolling our streets. Crowned gods in rightful glory. No weapon formed against us is our story. One black nation under guns is where my legacy will forever stand. To serve and protect my people from white supremacists and their Ku Klux Klan. Martin was here to preach. Malcolm was here to teach. I was here to bring the heat. And I ain't just talking any kind of heat. I'm talking that summertime. I ain't finna not to swim in this public pool because you're afraid my black power is gonna electrocute you heat. I'm talking that I'd be damned if I raised my ass cheeks from this seat. Rosa Parks, Claudette Colvin, Montgomery, Alabama, 1955. Joanne Robinson, WPC, bus boycotting. Miles walking, feet hurting, back aching. But I ain't quitting type heat. I'm talking that Luther H. Hodge better duck and dodge. Cause I ain't budging until those black boys convicted of white girl rape, sentenced to reformatory of the state, cuffed and beaten, starved and mistreated are freed. Revenge kind of heat. I'm talking that Cuba 1959 cigar smoking. You can try to cancel me nationwide, but I assure you, you gonna wish you reinstated my policy. Assassination my ass, you motherfuckers can't stop me. Fidel Castro kind of heat. Robert F. Williams is the name. Negroes with guns in honor of self-defense is the game. Anything other than that, we shall not acclaim. Negroes with guns, can you hear me? Negroes with guns, can you hear me? Hell yeah. People have to be armed to have power, you see? Fred Hampton is the name. Negroes with guns in honor of self-defense is the game. 2337 West Monroe Street. Goddamn pigs raided my apartment and murdered me. But I am revolutionary. Pigs may have shot me in my head, but one thing for sure is I ain't dead. I live through my people, my black people. You hear what I said? I was ready with a .45 automatic on my left and a shotgun on my right. What they thought? I wasn't going to protect my unborn son and what? Pigs come busting down my door, all because they was scared it was going to be a United States versus Black Panther war. Had to sneak up on me when I was asleep. All because they was scared of our Rainbow Coalition. Scared it was getting too big and we was moving too deep. And why'd they have to go on and kill my brother Mark Clark too? What wrong did he do? What? Search the entire Chicago for a damn building? So we could start a breakfast program for our children? Fucking pigs never saw us equal. We were too strong, too lethal. All power to my people. We walked through the valley of the shadow of death every day and feared no evil. We said, fuck them pigs and their ugly ass bald eagle. We the Black Panther Party. It's about to be a motherfucking upheaval. Fucking pigs never saw us equal. They arrested me over some damn ice cream. Now that should be fucking illegal. 2350 West Madison Street. We brought that heat. That rising up angry tango Puerto Rico en mi corazón heat. That may the young lords bless your soul heat. That salute our young patriots heat. That Robert F. Williams Negroes with guns heat. That Chicago, Illinois Black Panther Party ain't no chapter moving like we moving heat. That 10-point program, Huey P. Newton may be in jail, but we ain't backing down until we prevail heat. They heard revolution and got scared, you see. Nothing was violent about our revolution. It was educating. We controlled our own funds. And the only reason we had guns is because they had guns. Only reason we were shooting is because they were shooting. You see? Do not be fooled, my sisters and brothers. Pigs come in all shapes, places, and colors. I said, do not be fooled, my sisters and brothers. Pigs come in all shapes, places, and colors. They want us to kill each other through their corrupted capitalistic systems designed for our suffer, intentionally causing drama in our community and placing drugs in our communities so we come against one another so they can justify more pigs on the street to kill our fathers and brothers. They hated my non-aggression pact because it brought street gangs together. William O'Neill was a trusted brother. The FBI got him to turn against me undercover. You see how they counter our intelligence with elegance? You see how they play with our freedom and intellect? How they tap our wires and phone lines, then scream crime and violence to our guns and picket signs? All power to my people. They drugged me, but I was already high. That love for my black people high. That they could never divide the pride that resides within high. That James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud high. Now that's a high that never dies. Word on the street is, there's a Hollywood film about me. But as my wife once said, we still ain't free. Power to the people has yet to become a reality. You see? And so that closes off the Fred Hampton part. And my goal through this is to show how not only is history repeating itself, but it's to the point now where we don't have a choice but to defend our families and our communities. It's just a vicious cycle that keeps happening. So we have to stand up and we have to speak these messages again that these leaders spoke and no one listened to. And so that is the out of sight, out of minded us.
Good evening. My name is Dasha Kelly Hamilton, and I am Milwaukee Poet Laureate and a creative change agent. And I'm pleased to be here with you, albeit virtually. We're still together, and I have 2 pieces I'd like to share. There are 206 bones in your body. More than half of them are in your hands. 54 left, 54 right. Bones give shape to our bodies. They're the storehouse for minerals and healthy fats. The production center for red blood cells. Bones are living tissue. And if more weight is placed upon a bone than it can bear, it will break. 6.8 million people break a bone every year. Arms and hands most common, clavicle most likely. The only bone that will not break is your hyoid bone. It's the only bone in your throat. It holds the weight of your tongue, the bulk of your stories, the heft of your truth. The hyoid bone is the only bone not connected to other bones. It's the only one held in place by muscle and ligament and prophecy, like you held in place by purpose. Therefore, you must speak. Lift the bricks of history from your belly and you speak. Reach between the folds of your insecurities, your curiosity, your indignities, and you speak. Set free the transcript of your story. Set free the declaration of who you think you are. You speak. Swallow down the weight of the wicked who want to snap your spirit in two. They cannot break you. You were constructed to fling fierce language at your dreams, to verbalize your very intention to be. Your words are living tissue. Your words are your production center. Your words are your storehouse. Your words define the very essence of you. They protect the most fragile parts of you. So press your truth into the wet flesh of your tongue and you speak. Set free the declaration of who you think you are and you speak. Trust the manufacturer of your body and your reality, and you speak. Stake a claim on this moment called your life. There are 206 bones in your body, and they're all assembled, waiting for you to speak. Thank you.
Don't look at me, 'cause baby, I'm hiding. Just say what you need to say. Tell me I'm not all that good at lying. All I want, all I need from you now, just a little truth. 'Cause this ain't real, like this crowd all around me. Without the whiskey I'll be drowning. In the middle of the night, with you, see right through me, and we'll make it right, baby, tonight. Something you said, lying next to me. They shot me down, left me for dead. Close. Don't you let go, 'cause I'm letting go. Don't look at me, 'cause baby, I'm dying. Say what you need to say. Tell me I'm not all that good at trying. All I want, all I need from you now is just a little proof. This is real, not like this crowd around me. I swear to God I'm drowning. If I came to you in the middle of the night, would you see right through me, and we'll make it right, baby, tonight. Something you said, lying next to me. They shut me down, left me for dead. I'm barely breathing here. Hold me close, don't you let go, 'cause I may let go. Barely breathing. Don't you let go, 'cause I'm letting go. Been doing all I can to ease the pain, to hide the shame. Haven't been up for 11 days. Please don't look at me and smile in my face. I can't take you walking away, 'cause we'll make it right, baby, tonight. Something you said, lying next to me. They shot me down, left me for dead.